If anybody would like to call in and give a comment, the phone lines are open. In the meantime, Frank, maybe you can talk a little bit about the boat, the ship.
I'd be very happy to.
And we do have a photo of the boat. So let's put the phone lines down for a second, and we can basically show the boat also. Okay.
Yeah, this information arrived on my email about 3 or 4 days ago, and you might have gotten it. I don't know if you got this notification. Lee is in New York, yeah.
That's a ship. That's not a boat.
Yeah.
The ship.
Even though I was in New York.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What did I say? Did I say boat? I'm sorry.
No, I thought I
Mea
said
culpa.
that.
Ferry is a boat.
Okay. But this is a very unique situation. This is the USS New York, LPD 21. The motto of the ship is never forget. And the New York is a new class of warships designed for special operations against terrorists. She carries a crew of 330 sailors and 700 combat-ready Marines who are delivered to shore by helicopters and assault craft. Built with 24 tons of steel from the World Trade Center in Amity, Louisiana, and the steel from the Trade Center was melted down to cast the ship's bow section. The molten steel was poured into molds on September 9th, 2003, and the steel workers treated it with very great reverence. According to Navy Captain Kevin Weisning, it was a spiritual moment for everyone there, and foundry operations manager, Junior Chavers, said that when the Trade Center steel first arrived, it held great meaning for all of us. And his quote was, "They knocked us down, they can't keep us down, we're going to be back." And I think it's probably undergoing some shakedown cruises right now, because according to the information I have, the launching date for the USS New York is, I imagine, around September 11th, 2009. So,
She's going to be commissioned right in the harbor.
in the harbor. Did we have those pictures up today?
They showed some.
Oh, they did, okay.
If you
good.
could put the picture up again, we only saw it briefly. Let's look at that ship. And Frank, what was the little logo on the ship?
Never forget.
Never forget.
Yes.
And when is it supposed to be launched, Frank?
2009, and I think it's around September 11th.
They're going to try to have it for September 11th,
September 11th, 2009. So,
Okay.
and it's been a labor of love, I guess, because they've been very, very precise with it. If the remnants of the Trade Center arrived in 2003, that's going on 6 years. You know, so very, very meticulous work involved, I'm sure.
They put the metal right into the bow of the
Into
ship.
the bow, yeah, 24,000 tons. 24,000 tons? Let me see.
Yep.
Yes,
20
oh, 24 tons, I'm sorry.
24 tons.
Sounds right.
That's still a lot.
24,000 or something.
That's a
Well,
lot.
Well, that's a ship.
it was £1 million.
It's an island.
So that's my input on the USS New York. I saw that and I wanted it to be part of this show.
Oh, sure. That's on the internet also.
Yes.
People want to take a little bit further, do a little further research on that.
Yeah,
Never forget is the motto.
never forget.
Never forget. And it's also going to be, I think, a spiritual ship. And
The quotes from the foundry operator and any of the people, one of the fellas said he touched it and the hair actually stood up on his, I have never told anyone this, but for a short time I had access to a piece of the building, and I couldn't stand to be around it.
got that.
It actually just, not bad vibes, but just intense. You know, I felt very intense things coming off this metal, and I couldn't bear to be around it very long.
Yeah, besides the heat also.
Well,
And a little
this
bit of the
time-
smell.
By this time, it had cooled.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But it has that eerie feeling,
Oh, it does, yeah,
and a lot of people feel that way.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, Frank, for that information.
You're welcome, Pat.
And what we're going to do, again, before we put the phone number up, we have a little roll-in from Wendy Pellegrino from the Angel Circle. And from that point, we can go on with the newer things that are going on in Staten Island.
Yeah.
So if you can roll the thing at Angels.
Watching down, guiding us, watching over us. So I try to instill that message that, we can't see them here, but they see us. And I myself truly believe that. And so even last year at my ceremony, I had said to the people that it's 7 years, and it's 7 years of talking about how they died. We know how they died. I would like to start focusing on how they lived, because these people had lives, and they accomplished a lot in their lives. And so probably starting from next year, I would like to talk about who they were, not how they died, because we absolutely know that.
Okay, well, I thank you, and I will see you down at the Angel Circle on 9/11.
Okay, thank you.
We actually did 4 shows with them. We
Okay. Okay, we're back. And Wendy, unfortunately, something came up with the family.
I know.
It's a holiday weekend, and okay, she said something for us. And I'm sure everyone on Staten Island is so happy of the tremendous work she's done. What were you talking about with this interesting thing?
They were trying to get electricity hooked up to Angel Circle, and they finally got everything organized. They finally got it hooked up. And you talk about, people watching over you and everything. They thought they all had it all set up, and the electricity went out. And then it came back on. It was shorting out. It came back on. It went out. Came back on. It went out. And then somebody realized that every time the traffic light changed, the circuit switched off, it was hooked up. And it's funny because Wendy was like, it was just them looking down on us and saying, listen. But they got it all sorted out. But she's done a phenomenal job up there. She really has.
She still is.
And so is the borough president with postcards. That's a wonderful
Yeah.
monument.
Oh, yeah.
A wonderful
Well, that goes back to the triage site. When he stood there, he looked out at Ground Zero smoldering there, and he said to himself right then and there, we are going to be the first borough to have a memorial. We're not going to have this bureaucracy like what's happening in other places. And he was a man of his word. He put a panel together. They solicited worldwide for the design. And dozens and dozens of designs came in. And there were family members on this panel. There were, some people from the arts community. And they settled on this lovely design, which has so much impact because it's the actual profile of
beautiful.
those. Staten Island lost over 10% of those fatalities from the World Trade Center. With cops, firemen, people working in downtown financial area from Staten Island. And those funerals just went on almost for a whole year. And we didn't have enough of people to attend them all. I mean, we know so many people in the community. It was like every day, 2 or 3, and every possible place of worship, including the chapel at Snug Harbor. I mean, and it just, it was a long haul. It's a very emotional thing, and I always tell people, some of the vets don't like this, but I tell people that this is like compressing Vietnam into one day, because you have people that are missing in action, like this chief I knew, Jerry Barbera. He was in charge of pyrotechnics, and the borough president has the fireworks show. So I worked closely with him on many occasions. And we were together at a Staten Island Yankee game in October of '01. Somebody took a picture. Who'd have known? Next thing you know, all they found was his helmet. So we have MIAs. We have people who can't sleep at night.
I know.
We have people who have toxic exposures, not unlike Agent Orange. People that have skin rashes, respiratory problems. I mean, to me, it's like compressing Vietnam into one day, emotionally speaking. And yet, these are people who were not a military target. Wasn't like Pearl Harbor, although you're just as traumatized. Fatality is a fatality. We don't want to lose one person. But yet, these are innocent civilians going to put bread on the table for their families, you know. So, I don't know how it's like 40 miles outside of New York City, but I know for all of us, every day, there's not a day that goes by that you're not thinking about 9/11 in some way. Something kicks it off. Post-traumatic stress disorder, what they found is certain sensory things will touch off a flashback.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I can tell you that firsthand.
I know one particular Vietnam vet, he can't go to a barbecue. He can't smell meat cooking.
Yeah.
A rocket came into his bunker. You know, and it's the same thing with 9/11, whether people know it or not. People are struggling with that.
There's a lot of post-traumatic stress from 9/11.
I had a buddy I went to college
I'm
with.
just going to break in for 1 second. We do have a phone call.
Oh.
Okay, and we'll keep going with the story, but we're going to take a phone call because this is Staten Island. And caller, you're live.
Hi, I'd just like to ask a question. How come the city didn't prepare better for the rescuers with better equipment than what they have?
Okay, who wants to take that one?
Well, it was.
Why wasn't there enough?
It was, you know,
equipment?
everybody came down immediately after the, you know, the fact, just trying to find anybody that they could, try to save anybody that they could. Right. So the initial wave of people that went down there really weren't prepared, and they weren't really prepared for the buildings to collapse the way they did either. When they were on their way down there, the buildings were still standing, and they thought they were just responding to a major, you know, a fire. So the immediate after that, I can't speak to, you know, why the equipment wasn't better after that, but maybe you can. You were down there.
I think the main thing is that,
Thank you.
you know, like myself and the other medics and the other people that went down there, you didn't think. You just reacted, and you did what you had to do, and didn't think of the consequences later on. And I've been suffering since the past 7 years with medical problems, you know, but something I have to live with. I mean, I don't regret doing what I did. You know, it had to be done. You know, unfortunately, it's part of our history, and we have to live with it, and we have to prepare ourselves better for the future. If, God forbid, if something like that happens.
You know, people from all over the country came to help out.
Right.
And you know what happened when Katrina struck down in Mississippi and Louisiana, we actually sent a lot of the goods and services that we collected down to Gulfport, Mississippi, because their police force actually came up and helped us at Ground Zero. So it was our sense of giving back. We helped revitalize that city the way they tried to help us
You had
revitalize
people
New York.
from all over states, cops, firemen. I met a husband and wife in the financial district building. You know, they came up to help. They said they just hopped in their cars and came.
I think everybody was trying to do as much as they
Right,
could.
do what they can, yes.
Everybody just came together. And one of the things that, I don't know how many of you were actually down there and went up and down West Street, but they had these people on West Street cheering you on and handing you out bottles of water, and because they couldn't do anything else, so they had to find something to do, and they were wonderful. They really were wonderful. They were like a breath of fresh air.
You know what? One thing I just wanted to say, I've dealt with people all over the country since 9/11, you know, that have lost loved ones, and there was nothing like the response for the 9/11 families on Staten Island. Staten Island had the most helpful, the most support system, the way everything was run through Staten Island. People still talk about it today, how organized Staten Island was and how Staten Island really helped the victims of 9/11 and their families get through, you know, the aftermath.
The funny thing is, I'm from Staten Island, and all of that I didn't see because I was there.
Right.
You know, and you know, and I heard about it afterwards. But I saw everything come together there. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. We still do a candlelight vigil every year
Right.
at
Where is this?
Alice Austin House.
Alice Austin?
Yeah.
John.
Yeah, John Salazzo.
He was down at the rescue center.
Yes.
24/7.
Oh yeah.
So
oh yeah.
when is this event?
It's 9/11.
Yes.
September 11th. It's at the Alice Austin House. It starts at around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And they do. They have these. They can't use candles because they blow out. We tried that the first year.
Right.
So they have these little light up flashlights. It's very nice though.
Okay, there are many events going on, you know, to remember, and nobody in the United States will ever forget something like this, and it's important. And I know the borough president, Mr. Molinaro, has done as much as he can, and I commend him for that. I really, and all of us on Staten Island, give him a salute for that.
One thing they're
yeah,
asking
sure.
people to do, which you saw right after 9/11, but you don't see much anymore, is to fly the American flag. And they want everybody to fly their flag on September 11th in memory of those, not only those who died, but those who continue to suffer because of, you know, going down and help out after 9/11, and people really still need help.
Okay, I do have some pictures of the World Trade Center that was taken about 2 days ago. My brother Nevin Cummings works down there. And if you can put those one picture up.
That's 7 World Trade Center.
7 World Trade Center, that's it right there. Okay, brand new. It's ready to be open.
It's opened already. That's the only completed section.
Right.
so far.
That building is actually open now.
And actually, there's one more picture now. It's a zoom in.
It is open now.
Yeah.
It's a zoom in, if you can put that picture up. Okay, and right there, there are containers. That is what the new area will look like. That's the projected area. Containers there. There's a crane next to it. Very big posters, and they're all gearing up for this 9/11, for the tribute.
This is going to probably be the last year that the family members will be able to walk down into the pit
Right.
on the ramp. And any 9/11 family member from Staten Island that wants to go to the ceremony, we supply bus service from Staten Island to and from the service the morning of September 11th, so they can give us a call if they'd like.
Okay, and also I would like to talk about overseas, because I think it's important. We have people fighting for the United States, and I don't care if people are they're not for the war. We have to do what we have to do. We have to keep the enemy on their turf. I do have some pictures of Captain Roger Benimoff. He's a chaplain, and there he is right there. He had taken these pictures, and he had done Iraq, and he had done 2 tours. And we have some more pictures, and they're going to put them up. A lot of ceremonies going on over there. Again, he's a chaplain and captain. He has a new book that is in the production part of it, pre-production right now, and it's called Faith Under Fire by Random House. And you can Google Roger Benimoff, Faith Under Fire. You'll get a serial number, and you can pre-order this book. It's due out in around February 2009. And he had kept a journal. That's why this book was so important. Again, maybe we can bring that picture up. I didn't see that. These are some of the soldiers that are fighting over there. There was also the ceremony. I don't know if you had put that up. If you could put that with the hat and the rifle and the boots. Boots representing the soul. You have soldiers saluting there. And I think they, our prayers are always with them, and our support is always with them. Okay. So I said what I wanted to say, Frank. There's that last shot.
There's a lot of organizations on Staten Island, too, that are continuing to collect goods and things to send over to the soldiers. CDs, everything like lip gloss and sunscreen and things like that. You can donate to, to support the veterans over there, because they really do need that kind of stuff.
Basic things that we take for granted.
Toiletries and stuff like that.
There's
There's a couple of groups. One is Staten Island Supports Our Soldiers.
Yes.
SISOS.
Oh, yes.
And Staten Island Project Homefront,
Right.
which I believe also has collected donations to pay for postage. So if a family member wants to send a care package over to them, they can do that as well without the financial burden. There's about a half a dozen groups on Staten Island. They all work together. And they've shipped tons of stuff over there because it's never ending.
We also have William Doyle, who works along with Wendy Pellegrino, and he has a website up also, scholarships for some of the victims' families, take care of the schooling. You can get in touch with any one of these groups, either at Borough Hall or Wendy has all the
You can go to our web. We have all of them linked to our website as well, where to turn. We have a section for 9/11 where you can get any information you want about any organization about 9/11. You can go to the website.
Okay, so it's where to turn.
.org.
.org. Okay, so if anybody's interested in this, okay, I'm getting a signal. Chris, is there a phone call? Phone call. Caller, you're live. Caller?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Oh, hi. My name is Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
A friend of mine is there with you tonight, Frank Rufo. And he's with the military that day, very instrumental in helping in that cleanup process. One of the things that has annoyed a lot of people is how we were told that the air downtown was clean. I don't know if you guys have been talking about that, because I just got to turn the show on. I do apologize for that. But I work downtown, and, that smell was present for a good 3 months. Yeah. And I know a couple of people that are now sick, and some people that have passed away as a result of that, 2-3 years later.
Yeah.
Is there anything for those people?
Everybody should be familiar with the World Trade Center Health Registry. If you work down in Lower Manhattan or had any close proximity to the World Trade Center after 9/11, you should sign up for the World Trade Center Health Registry, and that way you'll be entitled to some medical attention and such should you get sick after the fact, even in the future. So a lot of people, we were talking about this earlier, don't do it or don't want to be bothered with it, but it's very, very important that you get your name on that registry, and then, God forbid, something happens in the future, you will be entitled to aid.
There are a lot of people that, getting laid off from work, they don't have any medical benefits. Is there a time limit to that program that, a certain amount of time that you have to sign in by? Do you know?
They extended the benefits to the anniversary to 2011. So they extended it for 10 years. So you still have time to sign up.
Right.
Okay?
What do you think is going to happen to that space down there? I mean, a lot of people have lost interest. It's not in the news as much anymore. They haven't built anything. It was going back and forth with the architects and this problem and that problem. What's going to happen with that? With the respect for all the people that died?
It will get built. It's going to be a matter of time. They're trying to work on a new plan now to cut the costs, because, as you said, there's a lot of cost overrun. But where a lot of organizations are working together to with the city to try to get it done and to get it done as quickly and as safely as possible. Because unfortunately, because it's Port Authority property, it's not bound by New York City building or fire codes, which is a major problem that a lot of people don't realize. because
Right,
the
right.
firefighters are the ones that are going to go in there, God forbid something happens again, and it should be under New York City Building and Fire Codes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thanks
Thank
for the
you.
call. Okay,
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
thank
Paula.
you. We only have a limited, you know what it is. He hates this when I say this. The time is winding down. But Frank, last words in a conclusion?
Well, I know myself, I'm one of those victims that's been sick for the past 7 years and everything. And I personally, I haven't been able to bring myself around to go down to the Trade World Center since it's been there. But I do recommend anyone that worked in the area, just, to register on the 311, the registry. Yeah, that's the main thing.
It's fine. Al?
We'll be, as you know, I produce shows, and if you remember, we did a show from a perspective of the people that work down there with all the pictures. We're going to be putting
Yes.
that back up again on September 11th on Issues and Events. It's on at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And just, never forget. Never, ever forget. And if you can, come down to Alice Austin House on September, on 9/11. We do a tribute to the firefighters that were lost.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lee, last words?
Well, Frank, I'd just like to tell you that there's a lot of Vietnam vets that didn't go down to our memorial for 30 years.
I know.
Some of them haven't
I
been there
know.
yet. But you will cry sooner or later. When you do, you're going to feel better.
Okay.
But,
Dennis?
I would just like to ask any Staten Island or any other families that may be listening to this now that if you haven't done so already, please send in an 8x10 photo of your loved one, because those photos will go in the corridor of memories in our memorial. So if you could do that, we would appreciate that. And all the information's on the website.
Okay. Frank, she's given us the rap sign.
Pat, here's another one for the archives. And I think Teresa Doughton is going to sing us off again, isn't she?
Okay, come on
Ladies
up,
and gentlemen,
Teresa.
thank you so much for joining us on this 7th observance of the awful, awful events of September 11th, 2001, and what followed and what continues to this day. Thank you. God bless us. God bless America.
Yes, I would like to dedicate this song to all the victims' families and to New York as a whole. Wind beneath my wings. Oh, oh, it must have been cold there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face. You were content to let me shine, that's your way. You always walked a step behind, so I was the one with all the glory, while you were the one with all the strain. A beautiful face without a name for so long. A beautiful smile that hides the pain. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. And I can fly higher than an eagle, yeah, yeah. For you are the wind beneath my wings. Did I ever tell you you're my hero? You're everything, everything I wish I could be. Oh, and I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings. Fly, fly, fly away. You let me fly so high, fly high against the sky, so high I almost touched the sky. Thank you, I thank you. Thank God for you, the wind beneath my wings. God bless you.